And a little earlier than advertised, but this is kind of usual for Tiles of Confusion, but here we go. So, Tiles of Confusion again, Shadowrun 2017. The league table has not been updated since the last time, so I'm not going to bother linking that in. I actually need to do a lot of work on it, but I've got a long weekend, so that'll be a quick 20 minutes when I'm bored, most likely. I could probably have actually spent 20 minutes doing that and then started the stream then, but I prefer to catch people out by starting early. So, let's have a quick check and see if anybody's actually in the participants list. Nobody currently. I'm talking to myself, which is awesome. I'm also the only person in the Shadowrun tournament server right now, so I am completely and utterly alone playing Mahjong by myself, which is difficult. Not actually impossible. I think there is actually a mode to do that, though I'm not sure I can access it from the private server. Might have to go into the main Tenho thing to do that. But still, we begin, stuff and things happen, and hopefully we'll have some fun. Why not? In the meantime, my my PS Vita stream worked quite well, so clearly I've got some more fun and games to mess around with on that later. Also, I might actually do some slight tweakage here. You hit myself there, which kind of seems a bit more laid out here. I mean, because it's a sort of window capture thing, I could probably use some minor tweaks here. Alright, no worries, Neowolf, as long as somebody's there, I suppose. Also, how are you doing today? I'm tempted to turn the music back on, but it would just be terrible. I put some other music if I've got on, but, you know, that would then cause this video to be flagged, and I can't do it. Hi, Urza, how are we doing today? I'm not alone! Hooray! Victory, chips, and lack of being on my own. This is a good night. And we have 2 people in. I imagine that's Urza who's joined that. So we're just waiting on 2 more. Rise did say he was around, although I have been kicking him quite a lot today because of various stuff and things involving Persona 4. If it delays about 20 seconds, that's fairly normal-ish. Although the live chat does delay even more than the actual chat in OBS, which for oddly seems to pick it up before the YouTube chat does, because weirdness. Also, did see Mordecai around. I also see, 20-second delay is about fine actually. I think I've got this set up for interaction, but oh yes, 3-day weekend. I've only got to work some of it, but that's just the way it goes. Admittingly, not actual work, just gardening work. Because unfortunately, that time of year, and plants must die. Or at least be tamed enough that we can leave it for the winter to kill off and then forget about it until spring comes around, and then once it's summer and overgrowing, we then have to go and kill it again. It's the cycle, and it just keeps on going. And it's the hazard of having a nice garden. So, meh. But knowing that is a connection, that is on your end likely, and it varies on person to person. And besides, I don't want actual live things. You might tell me what to do, and that would be terrible. I'd also have to throw out, not the ban hammers, but probably the block hammers temporarily. Stellaris is something I'm probably going to get at some stage once they add more to it. Again, it's a Paradox game, and so I have a ingrained habit of not ever playing it. Although, in fairness, I really do like CK2. And Rise is in. Welcome back, Rise. How are we doing? So just waiting on one more, which will be... I know Mordecai's around. I have also Sin Vanna, who's in and out. So we should have a 4th around somewhere fairly soon. And then once that happens, the rest all start popping back. We'd like to see Draconis back, if only so we can kind of try and dethrone him a little. Because I imagine even with the plus-minuses of the last game, he's still well and truly in the lead. Though, as mentioned, I have not, as of yet, updated the table. And I still need to update the table from previously, so... admittedly just Elo. Scores I've got. Nah. God darn it! I'm clicking the darn music. We don't want that. The menu music is absolutely terrible. We cannot allow it to continue. Meanwhile, I'm going to see if I can prod somebody. Yep, and yeah, Marishin's trying to plug his Granny's Garden video. By the way, watch Marishin's Granny's Garden video. I must actually just copy that link in. Because honestly, this is his best Let's Play. Absolutely his best Let's Play. I don't actually know if it's playable on tablet. It might be, but I have no clue on that. If I was tabletop simming, I'd probably be going and... If I was going to tabletop sim, we'd be doing Washizu, which I guess we technically could do if Carol and Mordecai are around, but we need to actually find Mordecai. But anyway, in the meantime, watch this. It is awesome. It is amazing, and it is Marishin's second most watched video. Certainly his most interesting. To join in, you have to go to tenho.net. The link's actually in the video description. Once in there, you just have to click this button and you'll be in the game, and then we'll determine whether or not you can actually play. It's very mouse heavy, this game, so... Maybe not the best idea, but apparently we have a Viking in the game. So, let us get this started then. Got any questions, feel free to ask. And in the meantime, I definitely have to plug that. Let's go! So, let's have a look at the starting hand. We have not a bad thing. We've got a triplet of the fives, some workable, and a sequence. And that's a very good set there. So a 6 gives us a double sequence. Yeah, this hand can be very quick, depending. If I compare the 9 of a 2... then maybe this can be extremely quick. I'm going to keep the East for the moment. As it is still a bonus tile. Now it's gone, though, so we'll get rid of it now. No point in holding on to a singleton of that. That's helpful because it gives us more options here. We could also be potentially waiting on a 2-5 for the final pair if it comes to that. That also opens up some options. Possibly a many-sided weight coming up there if I can draw the 4. 3 is not the most helpful tile we could get there, but it's a double sequence, so it's 2-3, 3-4-5. So that's much more useful to keep than the 5-7. Means I'm 1 away. Okay, JPC calls the dragon, discards the 8. He's got a lot of those sorts of tiles, so I don't think he's in Tempai. Let's toss the white dragon here. Still the first row. It's a bit dodgy a bit later on in there, but... and it's tempting though that... oh, god damn it. It's got a double white dragon now. Alright, so we're still in a good shape here. If we draw that, we draw a 1 or a 4. Get rid of the 7 now. It's probably a little dodgier now, but still. He's only got south only. Could I call that for Tempai? No, we'll avoid it. 1-4 dot would be brilliant right now. Yeah, we'll take it. It's a bit of a gamble, this one, but we're going for the quick Tanyo double door here to block that off. So basically what we are doing is... Ah, God damn it. That's fine, but 1,000 points is better than what Rise was potentially doing up there. So basically, the way this game works is we are racing towards getting 4 sequences, which can either be a 3-tile run or a triplet, and 1 pair. There are various named hands. We also have to acquire one of them. It probably wasn't worth the push in all fairness, but still, we've said that now. Let's get rid of that. Besides, it'll annoy him. I do have to be careful of Viking, though. He is the best player I've played with, and he is, of course, the owner of that trophy back there. If I draw the 7, we're in Tenpai Ipeiko only. And that's not a bad thing. We'll get rid of a 9 here and try and go down the order a little bit, because this has got a bit more weight behind it. Alright, no worries. It's not the best. If I draw the 5, though, it does give me Peiko on the 7, but there's only 2 of those left. White Dragon's been played. Not much point in calling that. I suppose I've got an outside chance of a 7 pairs still. Or a Ryan Peiko. Okay, not going to reach here because there's the chance we can Ryan Peiko this, and also it's just the blind 7 anyway. 7 Endora is fine this late in the game, and I doubt the 7 pin's going to be played either, so we might as well wait and see if we can increase the value of this hand. Reach Ryan Peiko is 4, so that would definitely get us to... yeah, reach Ryan Peiko. Dora. So, potential Hanneman if it's in the first round. Counter reach. Darn it. That's almost certainly going to have more odds than that. Thank you very much. And, yeah. That's jam. That's some jam there. Okay. So yeah, that was extremely fortunate. Keep the 1s for pairs. We've got the door in the opening hand. We've got the north as well. But yeah, that was some extreme jam. So what's the plan from here? I suppose we can build this up. If we're get a 7 there, that's not too far away. We'd be in a double weight potentially though, unless we got something in. True. And that sumo did get me 6, so that was a Hanuman sumo there from that. Potentially I could push this to Honitsu, but I want to hold off for the moment. I don't have a bonus triplet to fall back on if we don't get the Honitsu combo off. Okay, we'll keep on the dot discards for the moment. We'll kill those off because it's still possible we could call the 8 and the 6 and then be there. You can call 8, call 6, discard 1, discard 1. Puts us close. Only thing is, continually discarding dot tiles is going to get increasingly dangerous for us here. It's in Japanese, and it's not the easiest of languages to learn, and it doesn't have a strict tutorial. Something that is was on my agenda to do at some stage. There are sort of guides online, but honestly, if you're not familiar with Mahjong, it's not the easiest of things to just pick up and play. I can try and explain things if you've got a basic understanding of the rules, but... Okay, it's done that. So we now have 5 pairs as well. So if I draw a 9, a 3, 6, or a 1, that gets me into Ipeco territory. God damn it. 7 pairs territory. I know what I mean sometimes. You'll also find that I tend to speak in both languages, which is somewhat confusing. Do prod me if you need any explanation of what it actually means in English. Because honestly, trying to teach a game in a foreign language is always awkward, and it's just a hazard of how I was taught. I could push this, and in fact, I don't see a reason not to now. So we'll go for Toy Toy. We know we can't get the 1s. It depends. I'm not sure I was explaining much in the early ones. I mean, I've also had hands-on experience of just teaching Debbie directly, so... Okay, Urza decides to attack into my west wind there. Oh, god damn it. You're both attacking. This is not good. Also, I was kind of worried that North was going to be out there, but there is one left. Okay, Haku only, and that kills my... It kills my Toy Toy possible Chinitsu hand. Gira. Only fair, though. All greens, by the way, is an odd Yakuman, which requires all of the only green tiles, which is the 2, 3, 6, 8 green dragon, and I think that's it. It also helps if you've got a crib sheet of the Manzu tiles, which are the character suits. Okay, so JPC's gone for a lot of this, guards. It is kind of hinting Chitoitsu. Chitoitsu? No, definitely not Chitoitsu. Might as well toss the red here. Iron's not too bad, actually. We do need a triplet, and we don't really have an easy Yaku, but... But honestly, not too bad. Okay, so Rise is Toy Dora 1. That means he doesn't need the 7. And means I kind of want to get to Pinfu here, which is going to be awkward with all these pairs in my hand. 4-man safe. Okay, Urza doesn't think it's safe at all. Sure, okay. Do I go for a late all... No, I don't think we do that. Because we know he's probably got a Toy hand, we're going to discard our pairs, which is the usual safe strategy against an all triplets hand. Also, getting rid of 9s means I can open myself up to a all simples, so no 1s, 9s, or any of the honor tiles in the opening hand, in my remaining finishing hand, rather. Okay, we'll get rid of the other 9s since we know that's relatively safe here. I don't see any 1-man, and that's annoyingly a tile that I have to consider as a contender. I do see Souths, so we'll get rid of those. And Rise is dealt into Urza. It's another cheap hand. This is good for me because I've won the big hand early on, and now they're fighting over the smaller points. Especially with Rise having to go. The problem with trying to chase like that is it's very difficult to not be obvious in what you're doing when you're chasing, especially with that kind of hand. So that was only going to be all triplets with the Dora. Which means as long as you discard stuff you see 2 of, it's likely safe. Here, though, we have an East Wind, which is a bonus triplet for this round. I'm not in a voice chat, but okay. I do have access to a voice chat thing at the bottom somewhere. There's actually a really quick hand, though. Hello, Draconis. We're currently teaching a Neo Wolf about Mahjong, if you wish to join the Discord chat and do things. Yeah, I have a Discord link somewhere below which you can join if you wish. That might be easier. This is looking to Pinfu or possibly White Dragon. Looking a little more like we want White Dragon. So if I draw a 1, 4, or 7 here, that completes a double run, and that means I can then go into Tenpai for a free white. Get rid of the 8 here. Should be a join link in this. If it's not, I can get somebody to provide you one. We don't want the A dot. I do not believe there is one in the current description link. There is in the normal stream bit, though. So if somebody can actually go back and find that... Oh, I should have kept that. Oh, but it's fine. So White Dragon gets played with Still in Tenpai on a 147. Yeah, 147 or White Dragon is what we need right now. A 2 would be okay here, but we'd have to reach then. So we wouldn't have a legal winning hand.
Each.
He may want this. I think maybe go around this. So he's discarded early Manzu tiles, which is why I figured that was probably reasonably safe. And that does not make the 8 any safer the pass here, because he's got rid of the 6-7 vein, which means he might be waiting on the 8-5-2. And now I've got another person reaching to worry about. Okay, as it happens, it was safe. Gives us that back. So we're still White Dragon from Tenpai. Does that actually help me? Free man, probably the worst tile to get rid of here. Get rid of the 3-4. Hello, Saint. You're not an admin, are you? Alright, we're going to stay silent here. So we're on a White Dragon 2 wait here. So White Dragon would have done it. 2 would have done it. However, JPC has won with a East-only hand to make him dealer in the South round. This is perfectly acceptable by me. Yes, keep picking up your quick wins. That sounds good for me. I have 2 Dora in this, so this isn't entirely a trash hand from here. We also have one of the Souths. Unfortunately, one has been just tossed, so it's now the South round, so South is now the general bonus tile. And I'm sitting West, so West is my other bonus tile. Out of the 4 win tiles, anyway. Also, one of each of 2 dragons, and probably hold on to these, because the hand isn't massively good. We have no complete sequence, although that helped it a great deal. So we have now 2 completed sequences. Get rid of the 4 next. Hope to pair one of these up. I probably don't want to toss the 4 right now. I should probably toss the green dragon. If you're an admin on the FC Super League link, you can probably do it through there, actually, Debbie. Or if you find my previous stream, the Persona one, I probably have a Discord permanent link there. Nine man. Not... It's odd discarding tiles like that, because they do technically give closed weights, and it does increase the number of winning tiles you got, but I also don't want to get rid of this White Dragon while it could still potentially be a bonus tile for me. There are still 2 left. Oh, there we go. Now we kill it. Because the one thing you don't want to do is give away easy Yaku in this game if you can avoid it, and giving away a White Dragon, especially when you're in this much of a lead, is one of the easiest ways to do that. Have paired the end of a sequence, which is potentially helpful. If I draw a 4 now, that gives me a double run pair. That could also be helpful. We'll get rid of the 4 here. So we are now not too far away. West is my wind, but 2 of them already been played quite early, so no chance of getting anything useful out of that. Also, it is worth noting we could have a Tanyo hand here, which is all simples, so no 1s, 9s, or honor tiles. We also have double Dora, which is always a nice thing to have for Tanyo. So I might go aggressive here if I can. We'll see. I can call the free man. We're definitely doing that.
Chi. Chi.
So I'll show 2 Dora. It's kind of a bluff here, but we'll show it. Reaching against 2 Dora is dodgy, but unfortunately I can't take that. Didn't need to. I'm in a 2-sided weight now. We'll have that. And that was perfectly a legitimate reason to call that tile at that point. So there we go. Free Dora. All simples, free Dora. Which is, yeah, there are times to push, and when you have a hand that's that big, you push. The mistake is pushing on hands that aren't that big. Or, you know, doing what I was kind of doing earlier. But I now have a quite large buffer, so I'm quite happy for small wins right now. Small, quick, cheap wins, however they'll come. It's a bit awkward with this, because unless I get a pair of the Souths in the very near future, it's unlikely I'm going to get any Yaku for this one. Yaku, just named hands in Mahjong. Which all have various assigned values, but you need to have at least one named hand in your final composition. which can be accomplished in a number of ways, and I normally try and aim for one of the quickest ones early, which is either usually get rid of all the 1s, 9s, and honor tiles, or go for a bonus triplet of honor tiles. Alright, we get rid of our closed 6-8 weight here because we've got more options on the other tiles for completing free sequences. Whereas we can only really improve that by drawing the 7. Arguably, we could improve it by drawing tiles either side of that. The 9, though, doesn't help much. The 5 does, so the 6 is slightly more worth keeping than the 8. Oh, that's very nice. Okay. So this now gives us our bonus Yaku, which I would call... It's also a double bonus because I happen to be sitting south right now. Downside is... Somebody has decided to go for it and decided to do that. I shouldn't normally call that, but I've got a safe tile discard. It kills the Zipatsu, and if they're willing to give me double south the moment somebody declares reach, a bonus tile for everybody, they deserve everything they get. Trouble is, I'm still technically 2 from Tenpai, so not entirely the smartest decision from my end. 4 dot is a Suji, so it's 3 away. Most weights are 2-sided, so in this case, if he was winning on the 7, he'd also likely be winning on the 4, because having the 5, 6 in hand. He did discard an early mid Manzu, which is the only reason I'm saying that's safe. Actually, it wasn't that far away from being really risky, but either way, Sumo happens. I'm not the dealer. Urza picks up a good number of points. And yeah, right, stop discarding South Wind. Also, I've now killed off all my bonus time, so I now have basically no time to do this. Oh dear, you've invited the masses. Yeah, sorry, I thought it was actually linked to the bottom of this video, but I'm mid-game, so I can't go and just ping it over. So thanks for that, Mara. So I'm dealer. It's pretty much last dealer turn, and that is a 3rd turn reach from Urza. Hooray! Yeah, we've been given a couple of safe tiles here. Since it's early, it's likely going to be something silly, so we'll actually discard the dragon there. You will hear the mumbles. The mumbles! Okay. I'm kind of leaning towards the 7 pairs or a quick toy hand here. The downside is I don't need to win it. I really don't need to win this one. No, let's not attack this. Tanya's easier. And I have safe tiles galore, really, so... And I don't need to go early push on this, but... I would not mind killing off something if I could here. I just got it south on my first turn, so I guess that's okay. There's 1 6 left and 1 3 left. No, 2 3s left. 7's helpful. I can discard the 6 for now. That opens up this, so go for 5 8. So I've increased the number of tiles that get me to Tenpai from that. And the free man is what he was eventually waiting on. It's 7 pairs, as most early reaches tend to be. And Urza picks up points and steals my dealer turn. And actually now he's in the last dealer position, so he's got a shot at taking this. He needs a Mungan Sumo to do it. And I have bonus dragon in hand. Hey Keishi, it's been a while. How are you doing? So pretty much all I've got to do here is not deal in, because if I deal into a free hand, he overhauls me. So I've got to be slightly cautious against him. Beyond that, he needs a Mungan. So I'll be looking for the quickest possible route there. And White Dragon or South would be fine. One South has been played, so we'll probably get rid of that next. Nice. This is building up quite well here towards Pinfu, which is all runs. There's a few other complicated rules, but basically it's all sequences. Obviously, though, I'd have to drop the White Dragon for it. Get rid of the 1 here. So we have a pair established. We have multiple triplets, though. Alright, let's toss Dora Dragon. Dora Dragon passed, which is helpful. Watch me draw another now. No, Northwind doesn't help us out much, though. We're on for a Nageshi Mungan. After 7 discards. Clearly not, but, you know. Darn it, wish I kept the 1 now. That would have been helpful. We'll discard the 9s because we might be able to get this to Tanyo, which should give us a much quicker, easier route to victory. We only need any kind of winning hand here. We don't need it to be named. And I like to get them to worry. At least a little.
Each.
Okay. He needs that to be a giant hand in order to overhaul this, so what do we think? I think I cut the low Sozu here. I don't think you need Sozu at all, but I'm not going to risk anything too aggressive out of that. And it looks like we're going to need to be in a single White Dragon weight the way we've gone here. See, that's not bad. Just replace it, though. Haven't given up on the attack plan, because somebody might drop an 8-man, which should give me ability to keep going. Okay, now we can toss White Dragon, because we know that's safe. I'd love to have called that. Okay. I think we're at to risk time or fold time. I think we fold here. If Urza's in Tenpai, we go again. If Urza's not in Tenpai, then I probably win from that. In fact, I do win from that if Urza's not in Tenpai. And he's discarded 3 Freemans and the White Dragons, so his chances of being in Tenpai are slim. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it does look as if he's gone massively wide to do this. What was he waiting on? He was waiting on a close 7. That was a bit of a desperate wait from him. But either way, it's perfectly fine for me. He gains some points. Make sure he finishes in second. I finished on a plus 52, which will be nice added to my tally. Good game all. Ah, so near. So near. Right, I think we've got to just jump in here because I think the next game's about to start. Well, I guess we do have another game in progress now, so who's in the other game? Saints, Kung Pao Debbie, JPC, and Draconis are going to have their own game for a little bit. So I guess I should probably think about watching that unless we have another game starting up. I will, of course, add the score in. Somebody's just going to have to leave a comment for it. But we will go and watch that in a moment should things happen. We will probably have to watch the other game because we don't have that many people here, but I know there's a 5-minute delay, which is now I've not gone straight for it. Let's actually just go and see if I can cut across. Bear with. Ignore the random stuff that happened to be on your screen just then. Ignore it. I don't think there's anything incriminating, so it's all good. Yeah, so I can get access to this in 2 minutes. And then I'll be watching the game 5 minutes delayed on everything else. If another game starts up, we'll probably have to just jump into there instead, but we'll see how this goes. In the meantime, we will follow from Draconis, who I believe is currently our leader in the tournament thus far. And there's one more seat available. I'll hear it when it triggers, so we'll just swap over at that stage. You can hear me! No! This is not acceptable. This is totally not acceptable. You're never supposed to hear me. It's one of the tenets of this game. You shall not hear me. And the waffle I speak. Because honestly, a lot of what I say is waffle. True, but that's a pair. At least one game, anyway. That's 10:50. Come on, come in. It's 10:50 already. Well, 6:50 in Japanese Standard Time, but come on, we should have this. I'm just gonna have to go play on my Vita again. That's clearly what I'm gonna have to do. Yeah, true.
Home.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, in all honesty, that's pretty much the only strategy you've got if you need Mungan and your hand is going 7 pairs. You have to hope for the 2 pairs. So, we are following Draconis, who is, as I mentioned, current leader of the table, which I badly need to update. Let's see. So, we got the interesting Red Dragon standoff between Rise and Debbie. So, I wonder how desperate they're going to be to finish that. Probably that means that... The problem means both hands are not going to be finished. I realise they could use it as the pair, but I imagine they'll both be aggressive and hope to get the dragon later, which won't happen for either of them. Draconis' hand is looking quite good here for all manner of things. Obviously, the close weight here, if he can fill that in... Oh, actually, that's awesome. So, the 6 there gives him the ability to easily go Pinfu with that. Possibly even Sanchiku, the way he's going. 6, 7, 8, possible. Saints has made the early call as dealer to get the dragons, which is fine. He's got a good calling hand. Number 6 there for Draconis. Dumps for 9, which I guess is the right move. I might have been inclined to get rid of my closed weight rather than that, because the 8s, 9s, because it's still an extra tile able by keeping it versus just getting rid of that, I suppose. Draconis, possibly Payco building up. What have they got? So Rise is actually developing quite nicely towards Toy Toy here, possibly even Sana Suanko, but I don't think he's going to be fast enough. So yeah, now the closed weight is gotten rid of. Okay, Tenpai, 3-6. So this is a nice, good, aggressive dealer Tenpai here. If you can draw the 4 or the 5, it might be worth swapping out for Toy Toy. Of course, there's only one North left. Okay, Draconis on the attack. At least 2 away from that point, though. Let's see what everybody else does here. 8 dot is an interesting discard against this, because it's the... If you imagine they discarded the closed weight there, that's fine. But if this was towards a Pinfu, loose 9, loose 7, it's possible they want the things on the other vein, which would be 8-5. Either way, it's fine. Didn't work. So JPC now has 2 possible tiles to get him into a Yaku. Combat Debbie should probably have kept that 8. Got rid of the 4-6 close unless you figured it's not safe. 1-6 is obviously Vidora, but... Seven safe, you get rid of 7. Yep. So they've discarded each of the last 5 draws, looking at that. 9 passes. And there's the self-drawn. So White Dragon only. Very small dealer repeat hand for Saint. In fairness, there's not much he could have done, and it's a nice warm-up. And there's nothing wrong by just getting a few extra points at the start. Although he would have got more points from a draw as it would have happened, I imagine. So, White is the Dragon Dora for this, and 1 in both Draconis and JPC's hand. JPC's hand is a bit of a mess at the start, but if he, I suppose if he pairs up the East early enough and draws another Dragon, that hand could be quite epic, especially if it's the white one. So we'll have to see how that goes. Meanwhile, Saint discarding down and looking towards a Tanyo. Well, Draconis is just not drawing well there. From that, Debbie looks like she might be able to pull something together here. She's got a sequence and a few close sequences there. Keeps the 2, which actually is an okay move. 4 gets the pair. Also, the problem with this view mode is that people like Draconis are spoiling it, because I won't see what's happened for 5 minutes. And you know he's going to win at that point. It's probably not even this hand. Ah, well. So now 3 of them have white dragons. This is the time you get rid of it if you're going to. But if you do, somebody does call the Dora Dragon, it can be extremely worrying. In fact, this card's to play it safe and get rid of the East. Also live, but same logic here. You either keep it or you try to use it at this stage of the game. Try to lose it, I mean, rather than use it. So there we go. Second discard gets rid of the White Dragon second. Arguably that was slightly more dangerous, so I got rid of it first. JPC decides to keep the White Dragon. I would have been inclined to get rid of mine. Same with Draconis' turn, in all fairness. The one was actually slightly more useful, but I guess they're seeing the allure of Dora Dragon to Riplet, so... Yeah, now Rise decides to get rid of it, which means that's now Dora Dragon's gone. South, not really much help to Debbie at this point. And it's gone. And that was a very helpful draw. So Rise now is... Was he Tenpai from that? No, he wasn't Tenpai, but if he discarded the 9, he'd have had more roots to Tenpai, because he would have also kept the 2-5 dot weight there. I don't know why he kept the 9. If he draws the 8, That doesn't actually help his case. It just puts him in a single weight for the 4 dots, as I was seeing it. This is the reason he thinks the 9's good at the moment. I mean, there's quite a lot of 8s that have been played. So that was 2 out there. It's now 3 of them. There's almost no point in keeping that 9. So Draconis now won from a Pinfu Tenpai. Something that Saint is also a couple away from. Okay, there we go. So gets rid of the 1. So now he's in the single weight on that 9, which is not the best. I suppose it's a silent Tenpai, but it's only a 1-Han hand. In any case, and that's all the 8's gone. That's possibly the only thing in favour of the 9 weight at the moment, is that it's likely to be discarded. There are less of them than other tiles, perhaps, but it'd have almost been better off being stealth weight on the White Dragon if he was going to do this. Because at least then he'd have got some Dora out of it. I mean, I realised that was about 5 turns ago, but this is a time where that single hidden White Dragon weight could come in handy, because you're committed to the hand now. You've called, got your Yaku set up. They know you're likely to be in Tenpai, or at least should be aware that you might be. So staying on that White Dragon stealth weight with 1 already gone is not a bad way to go. Because it's going to clog up the hands. If the person who drew the White Dragon gets it again, they're definitely going to discard it. And the other 2 might consider it safe in a pinch if their hands are developing, because, of course, one of them's been Sin. And there's the deal in. So East only 1,000 points. And a couple of cheap wins move us into East 2. Was I just double checking? So rise again, beginning with the bonus triplet of Easts. But actually, the hand's looking potentially Kokushi-ish. He's a long way off, but 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was given that hand, I might be tempted to go the Kokushi Maso route. What does he need? A Red Dragon. Western North. Debbie's spending burning a lot of her time here. She should get rid of the West. Okay, she might have just timed out. So we'll see what he decides to do. Okay, so JPC has decided not to go for Kokushi, which is probably fine because, in all honesty, 4 away from Kokushi is still a long way to go. But I might have been contemplated to try and play around it. You had the loose 6, which I might have played first just to test the waters a little bit. But there's absolutely no error in just getting rid of the Kokushi now and just trying to play safe. So there we go. That's the discard you probably should have started on, rather than the 4 dots. So what's everybody else got going on? Saint's hand looks really, really good right now. Probably should have got rid of a dragon or a North rather than that. I know North's your bonus wind, but the dragon certainly on turn 2 wouldn't have been a bad option. And 5 could have obviously extended this to a potential pair. I know you have pairs established. Good draw for Draconis. 1 dot, or the 8-man from here. Possibly the 9-man. Discards for 9 dots. I'm wondering if Debbie's timing out here, because there's been a few really questionable discards. Which, of course, I try to notice because I do teach of the game. So 4 dot. At this stage, you've got to get rid of the 4 dot, unfortunately. And does. Yeah, I reckon she's timing out. I might be wrong, but that's my thinking on that. But then you know that, of course, because I can see... If it's greyed out, that means the tile was discarded upon drawing. If it's white, that means it's from the hand. So at this stage, best bet for Debbie is probably go the White Dragon and possibly play that aggressively. But she's dealer, so she can afford to. It's also Dora Dragons, which is awesome in this case. Dora Dragons is immediate threat. So... Again, I might have been inclined to get rid of a South. It is live, I guess. No longer live now, but So Draconis not far from Tenpai from this for Tanyo. Debbie draws an 8, which is kind of helpful. Might as well get rid of the 8 dot of the south. Or the 9, so gets rid of the 8. And now we will find out if she's AFK. She's AFK. If you didn't call the dragons there, and this being Debbie, the very aggressive player that she is, she would have got that. So, waiting on the 3-6 dot weight. Free man draw, discard, and Debbie could call that, which is why the stall's there. So from here, probably discard the south, or... Yep. I mean, south's not definitely safe, but it's less of a risk than some of the other tiles she could have done. Yep. Okay, this is much better, so now she's definitely back in the game, which is thankful. And sumos. So reach Tanyo sumo and 2 Dora. So that is Mungan. And the first big hand goes to Draconis. 5 minutes ago. So Draconis with a significant lead now. JPC starting the East free. Gets rid of the East. Oh wow, Debbie's hand's quite good. Potentially that's monstrous. Yeah, cool. Okay, with this hand, you definitely call the West Wind. It's an odd move, but you could so easily make that a Honitsu, and you got the Green Dragons as backup. If you were to draw another dragon in the meantime, yeah, cool. Got to be done, otherwise the Green Dragon's going to come, and that will be called later. She's AFK with this hand. Almost certainly Green Dragon will be played just because of things, but oh. Ah. Ah. Oh, that hand is... Oh dear. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to live with that. But yeah, that's immediately double call. But that well. I should probably get out to commentary there, but yeah, that's kind of... I'm slightly derailed there. It's fine, but this was actually on a table that would probably have actually gotten a lot closer to reality, especially as she might still win this hand, actually. She needs West, and she needs a dragon. Meanwhile, a lot of people getting close. And of course, both the Hutsu are out, so it's got to be the White Dragon and then waiting on the West or the other way around. I suppose it's possible she could change this up to be a 7 pairs, which is only 1 away from that. But 7 pairs from that is a really terrible return. Here you... I suppose if you were going to cut something west, is probably the one to go for, but... She's going to cut this, isn't she? Well, now I know Debbie is definitely AFK. Okay, so approaching late game here. That's the kind of thing that now puts you 7 pairs, almost certainly here. So 3 or 4 for 7 pairs Tenpai. How many 3s or 4s are left? And that's enough. Does that put Rise to Tenpai?
1
It does. So Ipeko, Pinfu, the Red Dora. Meaning on the 3-6. Okay, Rise decides to break that up. $2 safe tile. Does Debbie attack this? I hope not. Oh, okay.
1
Decides to counter reach with the Suji. So now he's in an 8 so only, which I think has not... It's not quite gone, actually. Suji trap kind of laid. There's only 1 of those left, I think. So 3-player Tenpai. 2-player Tenpai, rather. JPC and Kung Pao live to fight another day, but that could have been a monster hand up there. And sometimes Mahjong is like that. You have to take the opportunities when they come up like that. Arguably Rise again, missing the Kokushi. Was that this hand or was that previously? But either way, failing to go for a Kokushi might have cost him the game in entirety. And Debbie failing to recognize or being AFK and not able to complete a possible Baiman. Those are the sort of things that do make a difference at times. Still, it's early game, and Draconis is not in an insurmountable lead. He's only 10,000 points ahead, which is nothing, really. Non-dealer Mungan Sumo takes away there. Draconis is not sure why he's pushed, so Draconis is about to make a blunder. Again, spoilers, but that's just the way the chat works. Oh, there's a very rapid reach there. No, it's a closed 7, is that? Yeah, closed 7. So who's going to get rid of a closed 7 man here? Is dealer, so it does have to be respected. Debbie thankfully is drawn a pair of 7s, so unless she's AFK, is not going to do this. Thank God she's not AFK there. Okay, another useful draw. I should probably watch from Debbie's perspective, because I'm kind of supporting her anyway in this. Hazard of wanting my pupil to do well. Yeah, Draconis is pushing here, which seems odd. So the hand doesn't have a Yaku built in yet. It does have 2 red Dora. And might be Dora free, but still. Yeah, okay. So I guess Sanshku Dora free is what he's looking at here. But even then, his hand's a bit of a mess even after that. Red Dragon is a bit of an odd discard for Debbie at this stage, because it's very possible he's in for it, but decides to get rid of it anyway. I might have... No, she might have double fought it, in fairness, and decided to go for it anyway. But that's the sort of tile where you want to think about things. If you're going to play the 8 dot, you kind of have to do here. Debbie decides to fold. Wow, okay. Draconis is now on for 3. Well, Draconis could potentially go Sancho Dora 4 here, which would be a Mungan. Mungans are always generally worth pursuing, but he's gone about this in a dodgy way. And still has that green dragon he needs to get rid of. Okay, so has to dump that rather than keep the closed weights, which probably is an okay move. White dragon can go. Yeah, so I think Draconis is just holding on to this green dragon, hoping that somebody will discard it. And that's a useful draw for Debbie. So at this point, you should probably get rid of the 8 rather than getting rid of things connected to your runs, just for tile efficiency's sake. So now the 8 dot should follow here, unless she's decided it's dangerous for some reason. Which she might have done. Okay, so now in a single 7 dot weight here for Tanyo Freedora. And that's not a bad draw, really. I should probably get rid of the 5 and keep the pair, but okay. So Hatsu's still potentially available. Actually, she didn't call the Hatsu. Oh, in many ways, that's keeping 2 safe tiles, but I'm not sure whether she did that intentionally or whether that was just for stuff. I'll get rid of a 2 now, since you know 1's safe. You've got a pair established and okay. Is she folding? Might be. I think it's safe, after all. She might be looking at safe tiles, in which case that's a legitimate change of plans. Changed up for 7 dot, which I think was live for a 4-man. Debbie's now drawn dragon number 3, plays a dragon. So either she is AFK or she's now going to fold the dragon triplet to keep her alive for a few more turns. Decides not to keep the 4-7. Decides to go with the 4 instead. Now we'll find out if Debbie's playing safe or not. Because if she's playing safe, she'll discard another green dragon here. With a free man. Ah! Always the way. Always the way. Okay, 9-man. Gets discarded as well. 1 dot goes away. Discards the Friso. Nothing much happens from there. Discards the Friso. Debbie could call it, but probably shouldn't. She could go for a late lunge for 10 buy, I suppose, but 1 man is safe. Further proof for that 1 man is safe. Okay, 5-man, I think she... No, nobody says the 5... Actually, 5-man was discarded by JPC earlier, because that's what the call down at the bottom is. So that's definitely safe tiles. It's worth remembering those are still for return tiles. The 7 and the 5 that Draconis is called on. There's still tiles that the dealer has discarded. He can't win them from... He's 10 buy if he needs one of those for a winner. So, 2-player 10 pie, JPC remains dealer for another round, and Draconis gets some extra points. And yeah, not sure why you pushed that hand, but it was relatively entertaining. And the trouble with early reaches, they tend to be on one thing, and if that one thing never turns up, that's just unfortunate. Just bear with me 2 moments while I go and check some things. A copyright claim has been created for what's probably going to be the Persona video. Yep, it is. Darn it. Apparently Persona has some copyrighted music in it. Oh well. It might have been Jackbox, actually, but Jackbox never normally triggers that. So, how are we looking here? The dealer currently is looking okay. Has a couple of sequences completed. Reasonable shape for going to a Pinfu hand. Has the East as well, which might be beneficial. Debbie looks to have something that's reasonably quick, if not valuable. Saint is doing quite well as well. Multiple pairs built up. And Draconis, a couple of sequences, a couple of near sequences. Dora in hand. Yeah, that's acceptable. So JPC is now 1 from Tenpai at this point. Draconis is 2 from Tenpai, actually. Hey Sif, how are we doing? Okay, that's the Ipeco draw. And okay. Yeah, I'm spectating for this game because there's unfortunately 7 players playing Mahjong and 4 of them decided to get into a game while I was still in one. So I am having to spectate on my own stream for the moment. It happens occasionally and it has been the case in the past. This is a good draw from Debbie, actually. She discards the 4. Okay. I mean, she does have set triple there. The only downside is for 9s, and I think that would be what I would want to get rid of here in Debbie's shoes. I think Draconis is playing semi-safe with that 9. A little risky, but also might have decided there's not a lot of 8s available. No, your Reachy will not work because you're reaching on single weights. Is there a single weight, actually? Let me just work that out quickly. So that would have to be a 7. Nope. 5 gives you triple. Nope. No, 5 gives you better. No, that's a single weight on a 6. Unless I'm completely missing my mark here. Okay, Debbie's called. Has to get rid of a 9s now. It's her only route to Tenpai, but she can get there quite quickly. Would not require much from this. A 2, a 5, a 4 discard would do it. Seven's not a bad draw. Get rid of a 9 here. That gives you some more options. Get rid of a 7 instead. That's fine. Still probably getting rid of a 9 here. Yeah. So if the 4 gets discarded, which shouldn't do, actually. Is that going to be... I think he's got to risk the 6, which is the only reason he might have been debating that. Discard the 4. Debbie, if she's feeling aggressive, should call this. Does. They teach you the wrong form, though. Although there's crossover. At least more crossover than certain forms. So Debbie in an 8 only reach here, and that is not the tile you want to play against that, but you've done so anyway. So 6, 7 dot away here. I'd be inclined to... Well, she has swapped, which is sensible here, because she's obviously recognised the dots are risky. Obviously, it's a dead weight, which we're aware of, but Debbie isn't. Neither of those are actually safe, but the 7 discard keeps Tenpai. So, free player Tenpai, and we go into repeat 3. And about 7,000 points on the table for any win at this stage. Okay, so what have we got going on then? Draconis' hand I like. Rise doesn't really seem to have... Well, actually, it's quite quick, actually, looking at that. If he can draw tiles around the low dots, he's probably going to have the best chance of getting to Tenpai quickly here. As, again, discarded single dots on their own. Draconis is making good draws. Possible Itsu on that one. Debbie is not drawing well. Decides to get rid of dragons. Hey, dabbling is how you do things. In all honesty, I put the effort into learning, and I think that's the only way to do it. If you want to learn, you can learn. There are enough tools out there to do so. If you're interested, well, that's fine. You can have casual interest and not have to watch. Debbie has drawn a triplet of Easts, which is nice and distracts me slightly. Ah, dear. That is perfectly summing up my gameplay, in all honesty. That is almost perfectly describing how things happen in Mahjong. I may have to steal that quote later. Hold on, I'm just going to steal this. Notepad. So there we go. The quote. The perfect quote. And that's probably going to have to go somewhere now. If anybody asks me why I still do this, that's what I'm going to use as part of the why I still do this stuff. Anyway, so another reach from JPC on a single one. So, and one of those is already gone. So at best he's got... Well, actually, there's one in Debbie's hand as well. So the weight is effectively dead. It's in a sequence in Debbie's hand as well, so it's not likely to be going anywhere. You've got one tile, effective hell weight from JPC, not that they can know that. But don't go straight for reaching on the immediate reaches are not always desirable. Debbie could probably have held on to that, but I guess probably playing safe against the multi-Manzu here. So that's put Draconis Tempai, but not with a Yaku. 2 green dragons are played, so green dragon's perfectly fine for Debbie to get rid of at this stage. Gets rid of the white dragon instead, interestingly enough. And that can put Draconis into a single weight. He decides to have a go for this. So single 5 weights here. That's a useful draw. Okay, Forso doesn't particularly help. And that's a potential call here. That does advance the hand a little bit. But foregoes it for the moment. Drops for south. So now the question is, does Draconis stay in the 1 dot weight, which I think has more outs available, maybe? Or is more likely to be discarded anyway. Okay, and Draconis pulls off his single weights, 2,000 points, plus all of the Ricci sticks, and Draconis now secures a giant lead, which depressingly is going to make him even more dominant at the top of this darn table. I'm never going to win my trophy back. Well, now Draconis is dealer, so he's going to want to either win to secure victory or just pass this on. It's in a similar situation how my game went. Big lead from a couple of big hands, and now just has to try and ride out the game. However, he's got double Dora and his dealer, so he could actually just finish the game off if he manages this. Debbie is looking not bad here. If she decides to go for the full Chinitsu here, it's probably an okay decision. Yeah. If she draws any more Manzu, I think she'd definitely go for it. Yeah, call that. Maybe not, actually, because the 5 obviously does help on the e-poker side of things, but it's definitely tempting to call that. I decided not to. Okay, this is now where we go into silly territory. So, Debbie! Alright, that was a decision, though, so, okay. But she's left a handful of loose Manzu tiles when she could have advanced the Chinitsu a little further. Is she going to calm this? Decides not to, okay. That is a great draw, though. Chinitsu Dora 1 looking at. Debbie's trying to play this like a normal hand, I think. So she's killed off a possible Itsu Chinitsu style nonsense hand going on there. She's determined to kill off any chance of a huge hand. I'm determined of this one now. Well, now I know there's going to be a stretched Junshan Sanchiku somewhere. But
Each.
one was a bit dodgy against that, in all honesty, and helps your hand, more importantly. Well, that's the Itsu finished. So, a 417 weight. A little irregular, but still quite cool. So nice to toss the 8 bamboo from that. Come on, get rid of some of these Manzu tiles. You've gone close reach on the 8. I'm sure I've had the discussion about trying to improve the value of your hands. And self-drawn. Well, either way, that is a reasonably nice hand, and that is a Nia Mungan for Saint. Which puts Saint into contention again. Yeah, Junshan Sanchiku is a stretch from here, if this is what you've managed to try, Draconis. I don't see anybody else who could have done it, so... Yeah, okay, 789 Sanchiku from here is a real stretch. Not impossible, I grant you, but... I mean, if you draw a completed sequence and then it just happens semi-naturally, then maybe, but... Okay. If he draws another 8, or if he draws the 8 dot from here, I suppose I fully endorse going for it, because actually that isn't too far away at that stage. If it's just a random discard from him that gets him started on it, though. Yeah, if you're already 2 sequences into your Junshan Sanchiku, you go for it. Hands down, it hits free hand by that stage, so... I think I will have one more game, but I'm hoping it's a quick one, because this is starting to... I'm starting to tire out a little bit. Yeah, so he's basically there, actually. With no calls, getting to Junshan Sanchiku from here is really quite impressive. In fact, if he draws the 8, then you definitely have to go for that. The Pinfu Junshan Sanchiku. Just absolutely had to. I couldn't see much else. I mean, the only other thing that could have developed the hand, I suppose, was the 4-5 for the possible Pinfu, but yeah, I don't see an issue with this hand. If you start running out of 8s, but actually the 8 helps Debbie's hand. She should not have gotten rid of that, so okay, it doesn't matter. And of course, pinch of salt when I'm commentating like this, because obviously I can see the entire board situation and I'm not in the game thinking about it. And I would totally make some of these mistakes anyway, if it was me. Some of them I would make even aware of all the situation about around me, so... Well, I imagine somebody might be trying to see if they can sneak to a Chinitsu here. Or is just going to stick with that outside weight. Just because I said something, and therefore clearly it has to be adjusted. Well, it's not getting any closer, but then again, he's not really drawn anything that would massively help his hand towards anything else. Okay, so that's Tenpai for Sanshku, for JPC. Waiting on that 7. So, and that is a win there. So literally just a Sanshku, 1,000 points, moves for dealership on. We go into South 2. So Dragon is still within touch. It's not impossible for that to turn around, but he's out of a Mungan Sumo range at least. Okay, drops for 9 dots, and we move on. Okay, so possible Tanyo Toy there, which would be a nice quick hand for Draconis potentially, if some calls turn up. No Dora. Well, actually, the Dragon could potentially be Dora if he draws a pair of them, but as dealer and trying to close out the game, he doesn't necessarily need it. 3 quick wins will make Draconis the victor of this. So we hope he fails. Saints building up to an okay-ish Pinfu, which might stretch to Junchan, potentially. Bit of a long stretch, admittingly, but Debbie's hand is really not advanced too far, and it looks like Rise is building up towards something good. Again, though, no Dora. Triplet of the 8 solo for Debbie. Okay, so that's 7 pairs Ishanten. One from Tenpai. And potentially it's 7 pairs Doradora, which would be extremely nice if he got that. Wouldn't be for anybody else, and certainly not for me because of league table's perspective, but it would definitely be nice for him. Okay, now I think JPC is trying to build towards this... It's unlikely. I think we've only got 7. And it's people who know Mahjong that's the issue with that, really. I'm surprised JPB isn't around. He might actually be in the chat, but I imagine that's actually Viking and yourself then. Okay. So Debbie's 1 away from being able to reach for a potential Sananko. She can draw any one of those remaining triplets. Draconis is going the traditional, see if we can get to Suanko from this position. Which is always worth trying to do, because one of these days it will pay off. That actually is an awesome draw. So reach to... did not reach. Unfortunately, it's dealt in. It's a cheap hand, though, so... you a dealer, you probably should have reached it on it anyway. But still, that was a good hand and good development and reasonable control, I guess, for not discarding it. Still, I'd have been inclined to reach it. It didn't work out, as it happens, but She's got a reasonable hand to restart the south free with. Needs a couple of big hands there, really. So she's looking like Toy Toy Dragon from that perspective. See if she ends up going for it. Draconis is double south in his double south round, which is exactly what you want. That's helpful because of possible Ipeco shenanigans and obviously opening up other potential options. One so doesn't really help. Okay, what's Rise up to then? A couple of loose things. Oh, that's a very nice draw from Draconis there. So he's not close enough to go for a one suit thing. Okay, Nevi's gone for calling. So if she draws the 3, that's potentially a well, it won't be Ipeco anymore. So I think the best plan now is to just call the triplets as they come up. And see if you can lay that Toy Toy and possibly add in the Dora if you draw any 1 dots. GG has been called, so I imagine the game is about to start. It is. So I'm going to have to pause this. And I'll have to... Can somebody post... Because unfortunately I missed the last 5 minutes of it. Because of the way it works. I have to see 5 minutes in the past, which is why it happens. So, okay. Good luck, and we'll see what happens. And spoilers, darn you, Draconis. Spoilers. So, we have Neowolf, Kung Pao Debbie, Urza, and that. I'm going to ignore the White Dragon call initially. And we will... go like this. It's actually a really nice hand. I probably could have... Probably could have called it, actually, as it happens, but I'm happy to leave it. So again, clearing up the edge weights, moving them into close weights, adding more tiles that we can draw from. Might still get rid of the White Dragons at this stage because they're fairly safe. Yeah, actually, we'll get rid of the White Dragons now. Tempting to keep them, but they're not bonus tiles, and also I've got the Tanyo set up anyway. I'm also North, and I'm with 2 newer players. I don't know how much coaching was done, but they don't appear to be in a chat currently. There we go, that's quite nice. So we're now 1 from Tenpai. 2-5, 3-6-9 gets me into Pinfu. Actually, a 4 gets me into Pinfu as well. Gets me into Tanyo as well. So, Tanyo, Pinfu, 1 Dora. Which is a fairly nice way to start off a game. Prefer to draw the 5 or the 2, because that, of course, is a bit neater. Gives me the 3-sided weight. Alright, let's test this out. I don't want to do closed weights. I don't like doing hidden reaches, and this is not a hidden reach hand anyway. So the clue I should be giving there is that I haven't discarded any Manzu. Tiles close to my 3 are probably close to what I wanted. Maybe I don't want low dots at all, but we'll see. So I have 3 potential winning tiles. And in fact, all of them are all live, so that's a maximum 12 winning tiles available. Obviously, 9 is a slightly lower win, but we'll take it. And then just hope the free so is Uradora. Okay, it's a low value win, but we will take that from Debbie. It's Free Han, which, as I've already said, Free Han is always the cutoff point for going for an attack. So that's free Hans Zank plus my reach stick back. It was early enough. It was good enough. And that gets me a bit of a lead. So, on to second hand. Pretty similar to the last one in terms of possible composition and how we're doing this. Probably go for the Tanyo. Maybe go for... Well, hopefully we'll be able to incorporate the Dora into this. If we draw a second Dora quite early on, maybe we'll go for Toy Toy. Yeah, as I said, we're at least 12 winners out there, so the chances are I'd have some of them. Okay, so that leaves me the 2-4-6, which is quite a nice sort of shape to have. Gives me 2 possible opening tiles and the free discard. I'd be most inclined to get rid of a 9 dot, though, before I get rid of the extra one, just because of the ease of getting into a Tenpai hand, or a Yaku hand. And I think, yeah, similar reasoning here, we do that. So we can call cheap hands and just get the dealership. Yeah, that's fine. So it's a little more aggressive than I would normally play, but... Okay, that's semi-helpful. It actually opens up the possible Sanshikyu here. And opens up the helpful tiles I could draw, I guess. So, let's see.
Each.
Okay, W is reached. Well, I could call that. Get rid of a Suji. This is far more aggressive than I should be going. Sanshikyu Dora 1. Not really worth it. Not really worth pushing with. Especially as I would have got the tile anyway, but she's discarded the 8, so that's fine. Alright, 2's quite close to an early discard, so that's why I'm reckoning that's reasonable. That is a dangerous... This is a dangerous board state for me right now. But let's see, does Debbie need that 9? No. I should keep the safe tiles. I should definitely keep the safe tiles, but fine. Yeah, this was not a hand to go with. 2 calls from 2 calls after a reach is really bad play. It'd be fine if this hand was actually somewhat decent. It's not. Self-drawn. So reach, sumo. Oh, that is huge. Reach, sumo. Is that Sanshikyu as well? No. Sumo Pinfu. Well, that puts Urza solidly back in the lead. It's a little bit of ground to make up. We got a Dora in the opening hand. Possible Jin-chan. And Debbie to start. Who has lost a lot of points as it happens so far. North to begin. It's our own win, but I don't mind getting rid of it right now. So yeah, 3 pairs isn't the best to go in on, but we're only 1 win away from heading dealer turn again, so... And Urza's not all that far away. 12,000 points is not a great deal in this game. It's... a non-dealer Mungan actually would do it. This hand doesn't look as if it's going to hit Mungan, but you never know. I might pair up a Yates, in which case I might go for 7 pairs. That's quite a good draw, actually. We'll get rid of the 8 here. There are possible arguments for keeping it for Sanchku, but that's... yeah. And again, don't really want to go for that. Could also have an Itsu here in the future, depending on how things lay out for us. But I think the most critical tile for us to draw right now is the 7-man. Okay, 2 Dora. That changes what we do a little bit here, because we might now push for Toy Toy. If we can. We show Dora free, at least. Dora free should always be a threat to anybody, regardless of who you are. And I might even be able to threat another Yaku as well, depending. So what I could really do with is drawing another couple of another tile that matches what I've already got. That is not one of them. Yeah, arguably I should have waited. I'm kind of backpedaling a little here, but perhaps I should have waited. I don't know. There's only one of the 1-man left after all, so... if I draw a 6, I'm in technical Tenpai, but I can't actually get anywhere with it, and that is an attack from you. Just what we want to see right now. And Ipatsu. On that, well, I suppose it beats 3 Dora, so actually it's quite a good little kill hand there. I'm missing how I was bluffing, but... had to be doing that. Well, it was a possible idea, but it didn't pay off, so... here we've got a Sanchku, potentially. Dealer Sanchku is not a bad way to start things off, with Dora especially. Okay, then. I guess we are trying for Junchan Sanchku here. If I can draw a 1 of either of those. I mean, I'll take Chanter. If I drew another Green Dragon, I would probably go Chanter Sanchku instead, but... but this is an extremely good starting hand. Okay, Junchan Sanchku it is. So, if the 8 gets discarded, we go for it. If we draw another 1, we reach... this is quite a big hand. So, closed weight for the Junchan Sanchku. Dora 1. This is Hanneman. Double checks that. Yes, reach Sanchku, Junchan. Dora 1 actually is 7, but that's still Hanneman. So, hit any Uridura or any Patsu, we do win. Now it's just whether the 8-man will come off. There's only 3 left, but... this hand feels good. And Neowolf is now disconnected. So Hanneman is definitely on the cards here. That's 18,000 points if this pays off. And as I say, if I assume it, that's a Baiman, so... I would love to get a direct hit off you. Okay, now we got some gambling time. We know he's going to discard randomly, so... the 8 is also safe to him, so you never know. This might still pay off for me. As long as I can keep drawing okay tiles. I had a feeling that was going to be it. Okay, apparently not if there's something called yet. Either that you're trolling me for days. Debbie's on the attack now. Come on, 8-man. No. 8-man. Wrong man. Might not be the wrong man for Debbie right now.
1
Okay, so quick Tanyo attack. Oh, Debbie, I'm sorry. That might end the game. So that is a dealer Hanneman plus the reach sticks. Puts me into the lead from that. Yeah, that was an aggressive hand. And as it did close out the game. GG. Yeah, that was huge. That was game the moment I did it. Yeah, I'm done for the night. We will resume next week. Is there another game in progress? But yeah, I always feel a little guilty, but you know, I needed the points, and you can't turn down a buy. You can't turn down a. Can't be done. But yeah, we're going to call that straight for the night, guys. Thanks for joining me as always. We will be back next week for more of this. And yeah, until then, have a good weekend. I may do an off-time stream tomorrow or possibly Sunday because obviously it's bank holiday weekend. But we'll see. I'm no promises on that. We'll just see how we feel. So I will catch you all later then. Until then.